What's up YouTube, Missing No VGC here, and today we're doing another Kaijudo deck profile. Today we're profiling Light Water Dark Nature Pile. This is a control deck with a heavy emphasis on its spell count, but the deck is really good at doing what it does. To make it different from other pile lists though, I am playing a card that was never officially released, and had it been released, I feel it definitely bumped the level of power in this deck immensely. So let's get started with this deck. I'm really excited to show you what I've got. First, we start things off with 3 copies of Aqua Strider. I feel a 2 for 4,000 blocker is always a great way to start off the game. Next, we're playing everyone's favorite veggie, 3 copies of Full Metal Lemon. 3 for 35 blocker that goes to mana when it dies is really good for them early games. And then we're also playing 3 copies of Bloomworn for the same reason. Has the same power as a Strider with the cost of a lemon. Also goes to mana when it dies. I feel this card is severely slept on. Next, we're playing 2 copies of Gigglehorn Charger. I was playing 3, but the people in the Ranger Dojo Discord managed to convince me to cut it down to 2, which I feel is definitely the correct choice. You just search out your deck for your big boss monsters. And honestly, by the time you're playing those, the game is probably going to start swinging heavily into your favor because of what this deck can do. Next, we're playing 3 copies of Lyra the Blazing Sun. Lyra is just an all-over perfect card. 6 for 6,000 power, has Double Breaker, stuns your opponent's monsters for a turn. This card is great in tempo, it's great in aggro, it's great in control. Definitely one of the best light monsters in the game, and I feel that if you're playing light and you're not playing Lyra, you're kind of wrong. But next, we're playing 3 copies of Justicar Arcanix. This card was never released, but was set to release in Eye of the Storm. This card has the same stat lineup as 6/6 as Lyra. It also has Double Breaker, but in addition to that, it has Blocker. It has the ability to make it that all of your spells cost 2 less mana to play, and that ability can stack if you have multiple Justicar out. And on top of that, it also makes it so your spells in your shield zone have Shield Blast if they're broken. So if you have them out, you can cast a Mesmerize from your shields for free, or you can cast it from your hand for 1, which is really good. And this card opens up so many possibilities for early spell blowouts, and it's just insane what this card can do. Next, we're playing 1 copy of Squilla Scourge. I was playing 2, but I feel that 1 is fine. Both players discard their hands when it's played, and on the turn it's played, your opponent can't attack or block. This card is just really good. 3 copies of Andromeda of the Citadel, because why not? Arguably the best card in all of Kaijudo. You gain shields, that's nice. Double Breaker, your opponent has to tap things to attack, also really good. This card is just all over great, and honestly, this card getting hit by rotation is the reason why I quit originally. We play 1 copy of Cassiopeia Starborn. This card's probably not needed, but I feel the ability to just lock down an entire field justifies this spot by itself. And Triple Breaker is also pretty nice. So, Cassiopeia is currently my favorite card, and I feel that's the reason that I try and squeeze it into anything that I possibly can. You can probably cut this card for something else, but I'm gonna keep playing Cassiopeia. And for the last of the monsters, we're playing 2 copies of Eternal Haven. I absolutely hate going against this card, but dropping it feels like the best thing in the world. This card is arguably the most broken card in the game since they hit Bottle. Has Blocker, has Triple Breaker, all your light cards gain plus 4,000 power. It has Hexproof and gives you draws and free blocker summons. Is just disgusting. This card is so good. And I would be playing 3, but it's currently like $100 on eBay. And I'm pretty sure my girlfriend would kill me if I spent that much money on a trading card. On to spells. We're playing 3 copies of Sprout, because you got to get that mana ramp for a deck that plays this many big cards, and just this many cards in general. 3 copies of Mesmerize to get rid of the good cards in your opponent's hand. 2 copies of Logo Scan. This was an idea that was given to me by Modest Duelist. You're playing a 55 card deck, I believe, is the final count for this list. And you want to be able to search out your good cards, or like see your good cards. So if you have a Justicar out, you're drawing 2 cards for 1. Or if you have a Justicar in your field, and this is in your shields, you get a free +2. So that's also pretty good. We're playing 3 copies of Crystal Memory to search everything in your deck, because why not? 3 copies of Piercing Judgment, because this is arguably one of the best spells in the game. Tapping and blocking with the same card is really good. The ability to do it for 4 is really good. If Justicar is out, you do it for 2. And if it's in your shields, you do it for free. So this card's just amazing in this deck. Play 3 copies of Reap and Sow, because mana ramp and getting more cards to your hand is always a good time. 3 copies of Bone Blades, because I don't like going against birds, and this card can just pick off other tiny things that you just really don't want to deal with. It's a really good card. 1 Bottle of Wishes. Now, this card is normally run at 2 in the deck, because we follow a house ban list. So it'd be 2 Bottle of Wishes, 2 Haven, and 2 Andromeda. But I built this deck doing the 3 Andromeda and 1 Bottle, because this is what I would take to a Discord tournament that I know they hold a lot of for Kaijudo. And they always follow an open eye format. So I would definitely want to try and take this if possible. But Bottle of Wishes is just an absolutely broken card. We realize it is a broken card, which is why we don't have it at 3 on our ban list. But we also think it's too fun to not just play 1 copy of. So we have it at 2 for that reason. Mostly because we like the absolute insane things that happen when you play a bottle. It's always an exciting moment. Next is 2 copies of Tendril Grasp. This card I'm conflicted on, only because of the kind of decks that are played in my area. Everyone in my area plays a dragon deck. I play a dragon deck. All my friends play dragon decks. My girlfriend's daughter plays a dragon deck when she's not playing Kalima. So all Tendril Grasp does is just hit their birds and put them to mana, which is pretty counterproductive. So more times than not, Tendril Grasp just goes to my mana zone instead. If I were to cut Tendril Grasp, I'd put Root Trap back in, because I originally cut Root Trap for Tendril Grasp. But I guess it all depends on the kind of meta you're going up against. Unfortunately for me, that is dragons. So, yeah. 2 copies of Stormspark Blast. A lot of people can argue for Arbiter. However, in this deck that is so focused on spells and getting cheap spells out, I feel that Stormspark Blast is definitely the better choice to make. But Arbiter is definitely a good card too, but just the ability to like lock an entire, to tap an entire board for 4 mana, potentially 2 mana, is really good. We play 3 copies of Terror Pit, because it's Terror Pit. It's amazing. And last, we play 3 copies of Absolute Darkness. This card mixed with Justicar is the entire reason why I built this deck. So if you have Justicar out, you can play this card on curve. So the next turn you can immediately play an Absolute Darkness and just wipe their entire board by giving everything minus 6,000 power. It'll deal with Lyra. It'll deal with Herald of Infernus, all of their birds, Hydrobot Crab. So this deck is just really, really good. I would definitely take this to like a major tournament if they still have like in-person open format tournaments. I definitely want to try using this in the Dojo Discord tournament at some point in the future, once I learn how to do all the stuff with the stuff. So, yeah. some cards of note that I want to play are Skull Shatter. I feel that's a really fun card to use. I have a Mana Storm somewhere, but I have no idea where it's at. I definitely would think Mana Storm has a spot in this deck somewhere, but I'm not quite sure where at. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch this video. And what would you guys do with this deck if you were playing it? I hope I can make some more Kaijudo content for you guys in the future, and I look forward to uploading more later. Bye.